Yeah, dear students, you are welcome back to STR Shivarajan's teaching room. In our last episode, we had discussed about oogenesis. What is oogenesis? Oogenesis is the process of formation of ovum, the female gamete. And today, in this episode, we will be discussing about the structure of the ovum. See, the ovum is round in shape. Rather, it is globular. We can say round or we can say globular in shape. It is non-motile. It cannot move by itself. It is non-motile. And it has a nucleus which is haploid. So it is haploid. So the egg or the ovum is round in shape. It is non-motile. It is haploid. And what is the size of the ovum? The ovum has a size of 0.15 millimeter. See, the size is 0.15 millimeter. So what do you know about the ovum? The ovum is the female gamete. It is round in shape. It is non-motile. It is having a haploid nucleus, and the size is about 0.15 millimeter. See, it has dense cytoplasm. A large amount of cytoplasm is there, and it is covered by a membrane. See this dark line, this black line, that is the plasma membrane. So the ovum is covered by a plasma membrane. Outside the plasma membrane, it has got another layer. This is called a vitelline membrane. The red line. The red line represents the vitelline membrane. So it is covered by plasma membrane. The plasma membrane is covered by vitelline membrane, and the vitelline membrane is covered by a cellular layer called zona pellucida. It's a third layer, the third covering of the ovum. It is zona pellucida. It is made up of, it is a cellular layer, that means made up of many layers of cells. And outside the zona pellucida, it is covered by follicle cells, and this is called a corona radiata. So an ovum has got four coverings. The innermost one plasma membrane, the second one vitelline membrane, the third one zona pellucida, and the outermost layer is called corona radiata. It is made up of follicle cells. Now, when the secondary oocyte completes meiosis 2, again two haploid cells are produced. One is a very small cell. See, this is that cell. This is the very small cell. It is the second polar body. The second polar body is expelled through the zona pellucida. It is going out. And that point is called animal pole. So we see the ovum has polarity. The ovum has a polarity. What is polarity? It has got two poles. As we assume that the earth has got two poles, the north pole and the south pole, like that the ovum is also having two poles. The pole through which the second polar body is expelled out is called the animal pole, and the opposite end or the opposite pole, this pole, the point which I am touching, this pole is called the vegetal pole. So the egg has got, or the ovum has got two poles. It has got polarity. The pole through which, or the point through which the second polar body is going out is called the animal pole, and the opposite pole is called the vegetal pole. And again, see, the one ovum will be surrounded by thousands of, rather lakhs of sperms. Each sperm is trying to get into the ovum, but only one ovum can get into it. See, the cells in the corona radiata secrete hyaluronic acid. The cells in the corona radiata secrete hyaluronic acid. It is also called as fertilin. It is called fertilin. This fertilin prevents the entry of any foreign particle or any foreign material or any foreign cell into this ovum, so that the sperm also cannot get into it. Then how the sperm can get into it? We have studied the structure of sperm, and the sperm head has a triangular cap-like structure called acrosome. When we were discussing about that, I had told you that the acrosome has an enzyme called antifertilin. So when the sperm head touches this or hits this, what happens? The antifertilin is released and the fertilin is neutralized. The antifertilin is released by the acrosome and the fertilin secreted by the corona radiata is neutralized, and that creates a unprotected area in the zona pellucida, and through that gap the sperm enters into it. Okay, now dear students, I hope you have understood the mechanism of getting the sperm into the ovum. So the corona radiata secretes a chemical called hyaluronic acid, or it is also called as fertilin. This prevents the entry of any foreign particle or foreign cell into the ovum. So once again, I draw your attention to the structure of ovum. The ovum is round, non-motile, and having a haploid nucleus. Its size is about 0.15 millimeter. It has dense cytoplasm, and the cell is covered by an innermost layer called plasma membrane. It is covered by another layer called vitelline membrane, and it is again covered by another cellular layer called zona pellucida, and the zona pellucida is covered by follicle cells. It is called corona radiata. So there are 4 layers: the plasma membrane, vitelline membrane, then zona pellucida and corona radiata. And this is the second polar body. The point through which the second polar body is thrown out is called animal pole, and the opposite end is called vegetal pole. And the corona radiata, or the follicle cells of corona radiata, secrete a chemical called hyaluronic acid. It is also called as fertilin. It is fertilin that prevents the entry of a foreign particle into the foreign cell or anything into the ovum. So I hope, my students, you have understood the structure of ovum thoroughly well, and make a note of all these points here. Okay, we will see in the next class when we will be discussing about the menstrual cycle, which is very important because the menstrual cycle is controlled by both the pituitary hormones and ovarian hormones. The pituitary hormones are LH and FSH, and the ovarian hormones are estrogen and progesterone. You know that. So the ovarian hormones and the pituitary hormones control the menstrual cycle that we will see in the next class. Thank you.